I was in a salon. I was in class 11th then. And I heard some boys discussing CAT results. 98th percentile, someone said. And then they started talking about answer sheet, difficulty level, some other things also that I could not understand. They were talking about OMR sheets. So, of course, this exam used to happen offline. That was my first impression of CAT. And I was thinking that, is there such an exam that when people talk about it, then a light shines in their eyes? Is it so competitive? Is it so reputed? And all these things happened 18 years ago. 2 years later, in 2009, CAT became online and the pattern has evolved ever since. Let's talk about major changes in CAT pattern since 2009. This will give you some idea as to how CAT has evolved and what can be expected next. Let's start with 2011 now. IIM Calcutta conducted CAT that year and reduced it from 3 to 2 sections. Earlier there were 3 sections. The new 2 sections were QA and DI, which were combined, and second was verbal and LR. They both had 30 questions in each section. So total number of questions were 60 in 2011. Time was 140 minutes. This time, sectional time limit was introduced, which is still prevalent. Isn't it great? Next major change happened in 2014, when number of questions increased to 50 in each section, making it a total of 100. Of course, time was also increased to 170 minutes. And then came another major change, which was probably the massive change that has happened in the recent times, other than the COVID one. In 2015, when IIM Ahmedabad conducted CAT exam, number of sections once again became 3: QA, DILR and VARC. TETA questions were also introduced that time. On-screen calculator was introduced. Time also increased from 170 to 180 minutes, which means 3 hours. Sectional time limit remained, and this thing more or less has been the same other than the time. Then came another massive change in 2020 during COVID era, where number of questions were reduced from 100 to 76. Test slots were also reduced from 3 to 2. Time was also reduced from 3 hours to 2 hours. That means 120 minutes. When COVID got settled in 2021, number of questions were further reduced to 66 because CAT authorities thought that maybe, those many questions would not be good to be done in 2-hour span. So 66 became the number of questions in 2021. Time remained the same, 2 hours. Section order also remained. Section time limit was also there. Number of slots this time were now increased from 2 to 3. So far, this has remained the trend. And it has been what, 2 years? Let's see what happens next and when.